My question today is what should I know about online salary calculators? Well, first of all, I think having this resource online is great because it gives so much more information for job seekers to make sure they understand the market as well as so they don't underprice themselves when they go to look for a job. But there are some things that you should be aware of. So first of all is some of the data that many of these online calculators have is self-reported data. So they're asking people who have been in the job market, gotten jobs, what they made. Now, that in itself isn't bad, but we know people do exaggerate sometimes when they're asked about this. So I think you always need to take those ranges with a little bit of a grain of salt. They're still better than you would get otherwise from just a guess, but I would probably take an average of a few of them to get a more accurate idea of what the range is. By the way, employers often use salary surveys that companies get, and that data is actually from employers, so it's a little bit more accurate. Second thing to remember is that there are many things that influence the range. So as an example, the person's years of experience, or education or certifications might make the range for that individual a little bit different. So some of these calculators will ask you for that, others don't. So just be aware to adjust accordingly if you have more or less experience or credentials than is average. Another thing to take into consideration is ranges can vary depending on the industry and the size of the organization. Some industries pay more, they just do. So researching that can be helpful for you to maybe change or adjust that range depending if that industry pays more or less than normal. Same thing with company size. Now, it's not always the case, but often smaller companies just cannot pay at the same rate that larger companies can pay. So when you are looking at different companies and when they are asking for your range, you might want to take that into account as well. So those are things I think you should keep in mind when looking at these online salary calculators. But as I said, they're great tools. Please use them.